Hari Om. Welcome to this another session of Ola Samskrita Sahitya Rasaswada. We'll start with an invocation. Surasura Sevita Pada Pankaja Kare Virajat Kamaniya Pustaka Virinchi Patni Kamalasanasthita Saraswati Nrityatu Vachime Sada. Just yesterday we celebrated Kalidasa Dinam Ashadhasya Prathama Divase, and therefore I am tempted to take at least one verse from Meghaduta, not of course the one which has Ashadhasya Prathama Divase in it, but something different. And before that, of course, an ode to Kalidasa. Kalidasa Giram Saram, Kalidasa Giram Saram, Kalidasaha Saraswati, Chaturmukho Athava Vidya, Chaturmukho Athava Sakshat, Viduhu, Nani Etu Madrushaha. Who can, really grasp the essence, the gist of Kalidasa's words? It is either he himself or Ma Saraswati or Chaturmukhaha Sakshat Brahma. Viduhu Nanyetu Madrishaha. Not people like me. Tathapi, Mallinatha says this in his Tika, the beginning of his Tika on Raghumansha, he says, Tathapi Dakshinavarta Nathadhyaihi Kshunnavartmasu. He refers to his earlier commentators like Dakshinavartanatha, and they have trodden the path. Kshunnavartmasu Kalidasoktishu avakasham labhemahi. So they have paved the path for us, and therefore we can talk something about Kalidasa. With that humility, I would like you to have a journey of only through one verse. Okay, this is not a Meghaduta class, this is Shakuntala, but I am just tempted because just yesterday we had Kalidasa Dinam. And this is, the third verse in the Purva Megha. The first verse is Ramagiri mountain, he stays there. In the second verse comes the Ashadhasya Prathama Divase Meghamashlishtha Sanum Vaprakrida Parinata Gajam Prekshaniyam Dadarsha. After seeing the cloud, what did Yaksha think? What were the thoughts in his mind? And there again, every verse is a gem in Meghaduta. So I would read the third verse. Tasya sthitva kathamapi puraha kautukadhana hetoho antarbashpas chiram anucharo rajarajasya dadhyo. Tasya sthitva kathamapi puraha kautukadhana hetoho antarbashpaha chiram anucharo rajarajasya dadhyau meghaloke bhavati sukhinoप्यन्यथा vritti chetaha. Meghaloke sukhinahapi bhavati anyatha vritti chetaha kanthashlesha pranayini jane kim punaha dura samste. Very beautiful verse. This just gives you a gist, that he sees the cloud, who is striking against the Chitrakuta, and seeing that he becomes restless for a while. What is the reason for being restless? Megha loke bhavati sukhinahapi anyatha vritti chetaha. Even the happily disposed people, their mind gets ruffled. It gets disturbed when they see the rain-bearing cloud for the first time. And therefore, what to talk about Kaimuti Kanyayena, what to talk about a person who has been separated from his beloved and is staying far away from her. The thing is, the rain-bearing cloud, when it is seen, everybody remembers the family. They want to be united. They want to be with each other, in each other's company. And here is our Yaksha, staying far away on the Ramagiri mountain. And his Priya is there, in the northern direction in the Alaka city, at the foothills of Kailasa mountain. What he would do? It's not a distance is so much that he can't be with his beloved even if he sees the cloud. The thing is, Even the Dhirodatta, hero of Valmiki, Dhirodatta, hero of Kalidasa's Raghuvansha, Rama, he also feels so sad when he sees the cloud, and then he remembers Sita. Sita has been abducted by Ravana, and there are beautiful verses, where he says that, oh, I just remember Sita, and the Navamegha, it started drizzling the water, the rain water, and my eyes also started trickling, the teardrops. So it all becomes one and the same. Rama is also Meghashama. He is as dark as the cloud, and both start shedding water simultaneously because they just can't stand the viraha. Rama in the Raghuvamsha 13th Sarga, he says, Gandhascha dhara hatapallavanam kadamba mardhodgatake sarancha स्निग्धाश्च केका शिखिनां बभूवुः यस्मिन् असह्यानि विना त्वया मे. This all becomes asahya, unbearable for me, vina tvaya, because I am separated from you. So if Rama does, repent like this, what to talk about Yaksha? Yaksha and Yakshini, Yakshapatni, they are the symbols of love and romantic copulation together. It's a romantic couple. And therefore, Yaksha's pangs of separation are more intense, more grave than, of course, that of Rama. And he says, Megha loke bhavati sukhinaha api anyatha vritti chetaha. And what to talk about? Kanthashlesha pranayini jane, the person who you can embrace tightly, dura samsthe, is staying somewhere far behind. And this all, he is thinking that Dhyau, Rajarajasya Anucharaha, Yakshaha, Dadhyo. He just thought. He Chiram Dadhyo. Why for a long time? Because looking at the cloud, all his feelings, they are rising. His emotions are, upsurging, and to control them, to suppress them, he's trying his level best. And that therefore, Antarbashpaha. He doesn't let his tears trickle down on his cheeks. He tries to suppress. Rama mumocha ashruni. Okay, Rama is shedding the tears, but here Rajarajasya Anucharaha, he is not just any normal person, he is Rajarajasya Kuberasya Anucharaha, being a Dhirodatta hero. Rama's thing is different because, there is a difference between Rama and Yaksha. Yaksha's viraha is only for a year. For Rama, he doesn't know. He doesn't know still where Sita is and when he will be able to meet her, and therefore that viraha is unpredictable. It has no end, so to say, and therefore he just sheds tears. And here, Antarbashpaha. Antarbashpaha chiramanucharaha. Tasya sthitva kathamapi puraha. With great difficulty, he could stand in front of the cloud. With great difficulty, he could bear the sight of that. Looking at that, he feels so uneasy. एक मनात हुरहुर त्याच्या निर्माण झालेली आहे आणि त्याला फार प्रियेची अत्यंत तीव्रतेने आठवण येते आणि तिच्या विना हा काळ मी कसा कंठू, म्हणून त्याच्या मनाची घालमेल झालेली आहे. ऑल दीज फिलिंग्स, इन ओनली वन अव्यय कथमपि. तस्य स्थित्वा कथमपि पुरः कौतुकाधान हेतोः. He is the hetu, the cause of kautukasya adhanam. And kautuka also means abhilasha. Abhilashotpada karanasya. He is the cause of the generation of abhilasha, longing in his heart. There is a pathabheda, ketakadhana hetoho. Ketaka, because ketaki flower, it burst into from the pod. In this season, we offer Ketaki during Ganapati and all, to the close of the monsoon season. So Ketaka Dhana Hetoho, that is another thing. And in Raghuvamsha, I think he says, Ketaki Kusumotpadana Nidanasya Kadamba Sarjarjuna Ketaki Vanam Vikampayantat Kusumadhivasitaha Samiranaha Kamna Karoti Sotsukam. So that Ketaki also is good, but Kautuka Dhana Heto, this option is very good. Kalidasa has instilled that feeling that Megha, seeing the Megha, a person gets very restless, very disturbed. And then Bhartruhari in Shrungara Shataka, I am again tempted to quote a verse from Bhartruhari. He says, Viyad Upachita Megham. Viyat, the Akasha, Upachita Megham. So many clouds are there. Bhumayo Kandalinyaha, the sprouts are coming, everywhere. The Dharani, she is being fructified. Parjanyaha yat retasa prithivim avati, that's what Rigveda says. And therefore, Parjanya, because of that Parjanya, that fructifying fluid, Dharani, Prithvi is sprouting. She's wearing her green apparel, Bhumayo Kandalinya. Nava Kutaja Kadamba Modino Gandhavaha. The winds, they blow, carrying with them the fragrance of Nava Kutaja, newly blooming Kutaja flowers. These are the 5-petaled, long, white-petaled flowers. They especially blossom in the rainy season. Kudyachi Fula, Kutaja. Nava Kutaja and Kadamba. Kadamba is the nepa, the ball-like thing, and the kesara, the filaments coming out, it is Kadamba Golaka Nyaya. So, Nava Kutaja Kadamba Modino Gandhavaha Viyadupachita Megham Bhumayo Kandalinyaha Nava Kutaja Kadamba Modino Gandhavaha Shikhikula Kalareva Shikhikula Kalakeka Rava Ramya Vanantaha. The Vananta, the Upavanas, etc., they are, resonating with the shrill sounds of Keka sounds of the peacocks. Shikhikula, not one peacock, Shikhikula. Shikhikula Kekarava Ramyaha Vanantaha. All this is the Samagri, Viyadupachita Megham, Bhumayaha Kandalinyaha, then Gandhavaha, and the hearing also. Okay, so there is Darshana, there is hearing, there is Agrana, everything is there. And then comes a beautiful generalization by Bhartrihari, Sukhinama Sukhinamba Sarvam Utkantayanti. Whether a person is Sukhi or a Sukhi, all these things put together, an aggregate of all that, Utkantayanti, they arouse the feeling of union with their beloveds in every person's mind. So this is, how Kalidasa is such an impactful poet that he floats an idea, and the later poets have trodden the same path. Kshunna Vartmasu, we can say. So Kanthashlesha Pranayini Jane. What to talk about Kaimuti Kanyaya, very beautiful verse. And this is again, Vijjika also saying, Reva Rodhasi Vetasi Tarutale Chetas Samutkanthate. So the Samutkantha, Autsukya, Abhilasha, all these things are there for the Yaksha. I just hope and I wish that you all enjoy this rainy season. In Kerala here, it's cats and dogs, okay? In Mumbai, perhaps it has started raining. In other parts of India, I don't know much, but Mumbai also it has started raining now. So this is just an appeal to you to enjoy your monsoon, enjoy Kalidasa, and read at least one verse of Meghaduta, okay? On the auspices of Kalidasa Dina. Okay, now coming back to our Abhijnana Sakuntalam. I wanted to devote at least 10 minutes for Meghaduta because from that only Ashadasya Prathama Divasa we celebrate Kalidasa Dinam, right? So now coming back to Vidushaka, he has described his miseries, Vihara. This is like Vihara Shayya Sanabhojaneshu. In Bhagavad Gita also, Arjuna talks about Vihara Shayya Asana Bhojana, and Vidushaka is talking exactly the same, right? So the Kashaya water for drinking, the definition of Kashaya given by Sushruta is Yo Vaktram Parishoshayati, that which drains out water from your mouth. Vaktram Parishoshayati, it dries it up. Jivham Stambhayati, the Jivha is stuck at one place. Kantham Badhnati, Kantham, it gets choked, the throat gets choked. Hridayam Kashati, Pidayati, Sakashayaha. And Hridayam Kashati, Pidayati, Sakashayaha. So that is Kashaya, right? So that is the Kashaya waters he is drinking all around. Then Shulya Mansa Bhuishtham Aharaha Bhujyate. Now that Bhujyate is a Sanskrit version, and the Prakrit version says it is Sulla Sambhutto Ahara Anniyadi. Anniyadi could have been better, Sanskrit version could have been better as Ashyate. There is something like, Anha and Asha, but Bhujyate, all the commentators, all the editors have given this as Bhujyate. I don't know why it is so, but if you read Prakrit, then Anniyadi and Bhujyate have no, what you can say, phonetic similarity at all. It could have been Ashyate. So aharo ashyate maybe, and then there is he is riding the turaga, and therefore kandita sandhi, all his joints are broken down, loosened, and therefore he can't even stand properly. Okay, and then he feels that now yavanibhihi parivritaha esha banasana hastabhihi yavanibhihi vana pushpamala dharinibhihi Parivritah ita eva agachati priyavayasya. And then he sees his priyavayasya coming there. Now who is this priyavayasya? Is the king. Dushyanta is coming towards, surrounded by yavanibhihi, and they are wearing vanapushpamala dharinibhi, that is mrigaya veshaha nena suchyate, that is what the commentators say. But what is this yavana? For that, again, Yavana is a tribe. Yavana are the Greeks or the Ionians or Bactrians. There are so many different opinions who the Yavanas could be. But then there is a verse from Manusmriti which says, शनकैस्तु क्रियालोपाद् इमाः क्षत्रियजातयः वृषलत्वं गतालोके ब्राह्मणा दर्शनेन च पौण्ड्रकारचौड्रद्रविडाः कम्बोजा यवनाशकाः. Now, this is a very significant verse. Who are called Yavana? Now, here Manu says in the Manusmriti, he refers to Yavana, Shaka, Poundra, Dravida, Kamboja, etc. They have Vrishalatvam Gataha. They have attained a inferior position. Vrishala, inferior position. Vrishalatvam Gataha. Why so? Because Kriyalopat, whatever they were supposed to do as the Kshatriyas, they never did that. Kriyalopa, they didn't adhere to. They didn't follow their Kshatriya dharma or Raja dharma. They didn't do the dharma charana at all, as is prescribed by Kautilya, Manu, and all the dharma shastras and the smritis. So, Kriyalopad is one thing, and second is Brahmana darshanena cha, because they did not keep any contact with the Brahmana varna. Contact darshana is basically seeing. It is not just seeing, but being in contact with the with the Brahmana, that is the intellectual class, the warrior class, the administrative class. If they do not have any association, any give and take between the intellectual class, then only the power of muscle doesn't work. You know, the power of muscle or the arm power doesn't work, it doesn't take them far, because it is like a ruin for them, it is like a doom for them. One thing is they have forgotten their dharma, and secondly, they have nothing to do with the intellectual class. They have that rugged physical, robust physical power, and they want to exploit the people on the basis of that power. If you remember Chanakya, this one, Vishakha Datta's Mudra Rakshasa, how the Navanandas, they tortured their subjects because they did not pay any attention, they did not have any reverence or respect for the intellectual class, right? So, Brahmana Darshanena cha, and these are called Yavana, and they are, again there are Paradaha, Chinaha, Kirataha, Daradaha, Khashaha. So all these are different tribes. They may be the tribes on the boundaries of Bharatavarsha. So that is also another reason. And other people like Wilson and Western scholars, they liken them to the Tartarian or Bactrian and all those people, Yavana, the Greeks, the ancient Persians. So these are the different opinions. But they could be something like, the Sancharikaha. Sancharikaha is mentioned by the commentators, especially Matruguptacharya mentions Sancharika, and he says, Griha Kaksha Vicharinyaha Tatha Upavana Sancharaha, Griha Kaksha Vicharinyaha, those who are wandering or giving company to the king and the harem, in the Griha Kaksha, in the house, in the palace. Upavana Sancharaha, those who follow the king and the royal family in the Upavana when they are out for stroll. Yameshu Chaniyuktanam, they are appointed for Yama, for every Prahara, and Yama Shuddhi Visharadaha, and they are supposed to remind king every hour what the king is supposed to do in the next hour. Okay. Sancharikastu taha jneyaha, they are called as Sancharikaha, Yavanyopi mataha kvachit, and they are also called as Yavani. So these are the tribal women, and naturally therefore, and because they are out for hunting, in the vana, whatever wildflowers they get, and therefore vana pushpa mala dharini bhihi yavani bhihi. See the eye for detailing. Kalidasa, he just doesn't say that yavani bhihi parivritaha raja itaeva abhivartate. He gives the details also, so that eye for detailing, so that gives you a full picture which you can visualize, right? So yavani bhihi parivritaha itaeva agacchati priya vayasya vayasatulya, he is more of a companion. And bhavatu angabhanga vikala iva bhutva sthasyami, let me stand as if I have broken some of my limbs here and there, So not a straight position, straight posture. He would stand in a crooked manner as if something is broken. As it is, he is Khanja and Kubja and all that. He may have a hunchback. He may be lame, So Vidushaka, last time we saw last Sunday that through his Vesha, through his physical posture, through his body limbs, and through his speech. 3 ways, he can create laughter, humor. So, Bhavatu, now here nothing is broken, but he wants to pretend, oh, because, riding that horse, all my खिळखिळे झालेत माझी, सगळे सांधे खिळखिळे झालेत. And therefore he wants to stand like that, looking at his position, at least looking at that, the king will have some compassion, some pity, and will desist from going to Mrigaya that day. Okay, this is the morning time. Okay. Yadi evamapi nama vishramam labheyam. At least by this pretense, under this pretense, I will get some rest. I won't have to go after the king. Okay. Yadi nama evamapi vishramam labheya. So he stands like that. Tatah pravishati yatha nirdishta parivaraha raja. Yatha nirdishta parivaraha is yavanibhe parivara. They escort him. Okay. Now, during the night, Vidushaka and king might have had some vartalapa, because he says, tasya prabhatam akshnoho jatam, etc., shakuntalam chintayataha, etc. So now, in the morning, Vidushaka is doing his own morning duties, and the king is also supposed to do his own morning duties, and then they come there. Okay. So this Kritachara, we'll have it in the commentary. What is the Kritachara? So this Kritachara is, what a king is supposed to do, his Achara. So there are so many things, which the Kautilya in his Arthashastra gives what the king has to do in the morning. And we'll read that. Just a minute, I'll find it out where it is. Tallakshanaha Kritacharaha. So the king is supposed to do so many things, and yeah. So I got it. Kritacharaha. So this is Utthaya Charame Yame, early morning. The king has to get up. Utthaya Charame Yame Krita Shauchaha. All his purificatory acts he has to do. Samahitaha Hutagnihi, he has to offer in the fire. Hutagnihi Brahmananscha Archya, and he has to worship Brahmanas. Pravishetsa Shubham Sabham, and then he is supposed to enter the Sabha. So before entering the Sabha, the king is supposed to do all these things. That is his Achara. So when Vidushaka says Kritacharaha, Kritachara, that means the king is supposedly done all these things. So, Bhavatu. And now, Tata Pravishati Raja, and then he says, Kamam Priyana Sulabha. So the Yavanis, they escort him and they leave. And then the king says, Kamam Priya Nasulabha. My beloved is not easily obtainable. I can't obtain her easily, because she is a Muni Kanya. And everybody, especially the Kshatriyas, are always afraid of the curse of the Munis, right? And therefore, it is Brahmatej after all. So the Kshatriyas, they can't exercise their power anywhere, especially not during the Tapasa Kanya and all. So, Kamam Priyana Sulabha Manastu Tadbhava Darshanashvasi. Manastu Tadbhava Darshana Ashvasi Akritarthepi Manasije Ratim Ubhaya Prarthana Kurute. Akritarthepi Manasije Ratim Ubhaya Prarthana Kurute. So, the Anvaya is Priya Nasulabha. Okay, Kamam. Bhavatu nama. Priyana sulabha, let it be. Manastu tadbhava darshanashvasi vartate. But my mind has got some assurance, ashvasi. Because of what? Tadbhava darshana. Because I have seen the feelings exhibited by her. Whatever her feelings, like she turning around to look at the king, under the pretext of, some darbhankura has pierced her foot, or her bark garment is stuck in the kurabaka parivriti, etc. So under that pretext, she is looking back to the king. So that is the bhava darshana. There is no dialogue between the king and Shakuntala directly. Whatever conversation has happened is is Priyambada, Anasuya and the king, not Shakuntala at all, right? But bhava, whatever are the feelings in her mind, darshana, they are exhibited, they are displayed, manifested, and therefore king is getting some sort of assurance. Okay? But the thing remains, manasije akritarthe. Manasija kama is akritartha, because there is no direct communication between the lover and the beloved. So how can the kandarpa or the manasija kama could be said to be fruitful, So manasije akritarthe, still, still, even then, ratim kurute, still there is, emergence of rati. See, kandarpa is not there, but rati is there. This is a virodha, right? Because rati is the wife of kama, kandarpa. Kandarpa is not there, but rati is there. Now kandarpa would be there only when there is rati, okay? But now, even though kandarpa is not fruitful, not rewarded, rati is there. Because of what he says, rati is there. There is an emergence of love, ubhaya prarthana. So ratim kurute, what creates that rati? Ubhaya prarthana, the reciprocation mutually, the king and Shakuntala, what they have exchanged without words, even without words, the reciprocity, what we can say, I don't know, the reciprocal behavior, mutual behavior of both has enough scope for the rise of rati there. So that is the general verse, okay, general meaning of this. So there is a virodha apparently, because kritarthe manasije and ratim kurute. So rati is there even without manasija, even without the kama. Okay, so here yato na sulabha prapya sukhena na labhya. If she is not sulabha, kamam priyana sulabha. That is how he starts, right? Kamam priyana sulabha. Then if it is dushprapa, if the thing is dushprapa, tarhi dushprape vastuni prayatnena api kim iti ashanka. There could be a doubt. Some may ask, if you are not going to get it, why do you exert yourself, after that? So, yadi dushprapa, tarhi prayatnena kim iti ashankayam. If somebody has this doubt, then there is a scope. What is that scope? Little scope is there. Manaha iti. What is that manaha? Tu iti shankachede. Manastu. Manastu tadbhava darshanashvasi. Manastu. Tu iti vyavrityarthe. Like tattu samanvayat, etc. Shastra tattu samanvayat. Even Acharya Shankara would say, tu iti purva paksha vyavrityarthe. So there will be a purva paksha. If it is dushprapa, not sulabha, it is durlabha, then why do efforts to that? And therefore, shanka chedi, to refute that, there is a scope. And what is that scope? Manasaha tasyaha nayikaha bhavaha cheshtaha tasam darshana. So whatever are her cheshtaha, whatever are her manifestations, without speaking, without uttering a single word, darshana shvasi. Now, Ashvasi, there is another Pathabheda. And the commentator Raghava Bhatta has accepted that Pathabheda, that is Ayasi. Tad bhava darshanayasi, ayasa. Ayasa is sakheda. So bhavaha, nayikayaha bhavaha, cheshtaha, tasam darshanena ayasi. Ayasi nama kim? Sakhedam prayatnapurvakam lalasam ityarthaha. So there is kheda because the love is not fructified, but there is lalasa, there is a longing, there is a desire for the fruition of this love of the king. And therefore now there is kheda, but there is a scope because tadbhava darshana. Her cheshta, the manifestation of her inner feelings outwardly, whatever she has done, are so very reassuring that though now it is not, like nobody in Sanskrit literature, especially the dramas would come and say, yes, I love you. It's not like that, it's not so easy like the Bollywood movies nowadays. And therefore, now it is not there, so there is kheda, but there is lalasa, there is hope. This asha, asha nama manushyanam kachid ascharya shrinkhala yaya baddha pradavanti muktastishthanti panguvat. So this asha keeps you on the way. There is the hope. And the hope is not nishkarana. There is a hetu. And therefore there is kavyalinga alankara as well. So sakhedam prayatna purvakam lalasam ityarthaha. Manasije akritarthe api ubhaya prarthana swa swa abhilashaha. His abhilasha and Shakuntala's abhilasha. Swaswa abhilasha ratim kurute ragam kurute. Raga is not Marathi rag. Mala khub rag alay. Raga is attachment. Ranja. Ranja is to color, Ranga. Ranga is also from that varna. So that sticks to the wall, right? That sticks to the wall. So this is some feeling which sticks to your mind. It is already there. It is sort of attachment. And therefore we have viraga, raga and viraga, and from that we have vairagya, right? So raga is not the Marathi rag here. Raga is a very Sanskrit word raga. So ragam kurute pritim utpadayati jataratyoho sambhavati ityarthaha. So that generates preeti in the mind. Atra akritarthe api ajataratyaadehe api iti api shabdarthaha. So why the word api is used? Because there is no direct communication, no direct confirmation of love, affirmation of love. And tena etaduktam bhavati yatha manmanasaha तद्भावदर्शनलालसत्वं कार्यं समर्थ्यते तेन अर्थान्तरन्यासः. So this is an अर्थान्तरन्यास alankara also. Ratim ubhaya prarthana kurute. When there is ubhaya prarthana, both the man and the woman have the feeling of love, and that is exhibited directly or indirectly through some gestures, then there is the scope for rise of love. Pritim utpadayati. And this is normally the case, in all the circumstances, like especially the girls, the ladies, they have it, this. This one says, Meghaduta, it is said, I will quote it somewhere. So this is like Streenam Adyam Pranaya Vachanam Vibhramohi Priyeshu. This is Meghaduta. Streenam Adyam Pranaya Vachanam Vibhramohi Priyeshu. What is the first articulation of love? In the case of women, they won't utter it. They won't utter it through their words, but vibhrama. They would do it in a very subtle manner through their gestures. Vibhrama are some, graceful gestures. Vividha, brahma, like like looking with the kataksha. Now here in the case of Shakuntala, her turning around under the pretext of so many other things. And Lajjavanatamuki, when the king is talking to Anasuya and Priyambada, she is casting her eyes down. But then the king also has observed that though she is not looking at me directly, her eyes and ears are to me what we are talking, right? And that will come in the next verse as well. So these are the vibramas, the subtle gestures. And no woman, though she is really in love with a man, she won't clearly come out to say, the ancient old Sanskrit heroines, okay, not today's girls. So they won't come forward and say that I love you. It is not, it is like ye hridayi se te hridayi, and what you can say, shabdancha palikadale. No words are required for that. It is only the vibhrama. So strinam adyam pranaya vachanam, that is their articulation of love through their gestures and not through words. So this she has already done, and therefore the king has got some reassurance. So though Raghava Bhatta has taken the word ayasi in his commentary, I feel that ashvasi is more, better word, because he gets reassured. Looking at the gestures, he get the reassurance that yes, she loves me too. And then there is another beautiful verse here, Smitam Kritva. Smitam Kritva. Why Smitam? He is, reliving those moments. One night has passed. It's only one night, okay? One night has passed. It is the second day morning. He is reliving all those moments like a flashback in front of his mental eyes, right? And Smitam Kritva. Oh, yes, there is a scope. Huh? So Smitam, he is all hopeful because Pramanam Antahkarana Pravrittayaha, he has already stated, Satam hi Sandeha Padeshu Vastushu, right? So Smitam Kritva, Evam Atmabhipraya Sambhavita Ishtajana Chittavrittihi Prarthayita Vidambyate. So thus, Prarthayita, one who proposes, or the suitor, is mocked at, Vidambyate. The suitor, one who proposes, the proposer, is mocked at, he is mocked, who infers. This is all inference, that she is also loving me. She is also in love with me. So his inference, his guesswork, his logical thinking behind that, who infers the feelings of the cherished one. Ishtajana chittavrittihi sambhavita. So he has guessed. Who is the Ishtajana? Shakuntala is the Ishtajana. Her chittavritti, her looking behind, it may be really her garment is stuck and therefore she is trying to release it. But the king feels, oh, it is for me she is looking back. It is to look at me she is turning back again, and she is lingering behind a little more. When the Sakhis have gone forward, she lingers behind and then calls them Pratipalayata. Just wait for me, don't leave me, right? So Ishtajana Chittavritti Sambhavita is guessed by him, and this is done normally by all the lovers. And so this is a generalization, and for that we read the next verse where the beautiful generalization comes as Kami Swatam Pashyati. Okay, this is a very beautiful verse, Shardula Vikridita. The first was Arya. स्निग्धं वीक्षितमन्यतोऽपि नयने यत्प्रेरयन्त्या तया यातं यच्च नितम्बयोर्गुरुतया मन्दं विलासादिव मागा इत्युपरुद्धया यदपि सा सूयमुक्ता सखी सर्वं तत्किल मत्परायणमहो कामी स्वतां पश्यति. Kami swatam pashyati is the main sentence. A lover always sees his own self everywhere. Swatam pashyati, atmiyatam pashyati. Swatam nama atmiyatam pashyati. Okay. Now this verse has all the anubhavas, different anubhavas, that is the what you can say, actions. Anubhava. Bhava is your feeling, and how you manifest that, the outward manifestation of inward feeling are called anubhava. So there is a very difficult and very, I don't like that word, histrionics. It reminds me of history. Why histrionics? I don't say gesticulation. These are the words: gesticulation, histrionic. This is abhinaya, basically. Abhinaya. The Sanskrit word is so simple and so significant. Abhi, niyate anena. Abhi, towards. Whatever you do takes you to that feeling. There is some feeling in your heart emerging, and whatever you do outwardly, apparently, that is supposedly the manifestation which takes you nearer and nearer to that feeling. Okay, so abhinaya, and this is, in the Chaturvidha Abhinaya, there are 4 types of abhinayas Bharata talks about. So there is aharya and vachika and satvika and all that. So this is the angika abhinaya. Angika, Vachika, Aharya, Satvika. These are the 4 types of Abhinaya. Angika is whatever you display, whatever you manifest through your body parts, through your limbs. Okay? Maybe the Kataksha also, that is a body part. That is Angika. Vachika, when you speak it, we speak it out, articulate it. Okay? Vachika. Aharya is the Nepathyadikam. And Nepathya may be the backdrop, Nepathya may be the Vesha, Nepathya is Vesha also. In Malavika-Agnimitram, if you remember, those who have attended Malavika-Agnimitram with me, you have read it with me. So, Virala Nepathyam Malavikam Praveshaya. झिरझिरीत कपडे घालून तिला घेऊन या. So, transparent Nepathya. Nepathya is clothing as well. So that is, Nepathya is different meanings. And then the 4th is Satvika Abhinaya. Satvika is, like perspiration, Vaivaranya, then Vepathu, Kampa. The Ashtasatvika bhavas are there. So this gives you the Angika Abhinaya here. So these are all the anubhavas. In fact, when Kavya Prakash Mammata gives you some verses only describing the vibhavas, a verse describing only the anubhavas, he could have quoted this as well. But he hasn't quoted this. He has quoted some verse from Malati Madhavam in the Kavya Prakash. Okay, but I feel this is a very good verse for only anubhavas. What is it? Snigdham Vikshitam Anyatopi Nayane Yat Prerayantyataya. She cast an affectionate, very loving glance. Snigdham Vikshitam. Anyatopi Nayane. Though her eyes are directed to something else, she is looking at something else, but I feel, though she is looking at something else in some other direction, she is casting a very loving glance at me. This is what Kami Swatam Pashyati. He is looking at her with all love, and therefore he thinks she is also looking at him with all love. Though she is looking at something else in some other direction, he feels, no, tirchi naino se mujhe dekh rahi hai. So, and that too with love. So, snigdham vikshitam anyatopi nayane. Though her eyes are directed towards something else, yat prerayantyataya. When she casts the glance, prerayanti, casting her glance, I feel it is towards me, and it is a very loving, affectionate glance of hers. Yatam yaccha Nitambayoho Gurutaya Mandam Vilasadiva. When she is walking, she is Gajagamini or Hansagamini. So she walks very slow, languidly, okay, not lazily, languidly she walks, and maybe because of her Jaganabhara, okay, Nitamba Gurutaya. But I feel she's deliberately walking in that manner as if with romantic gesture, vilasa, that is Vibhrama, vilasa diva, through sportiveness. The Kaminis, when they want to attract the man, they would walk in such manner, especially to attract their attention. So, though she is walking mandam very slowly, that mandatva may be caused by nitamba gurutva, okay? But I feel it is to attract my attention. So, when she is walking, exiting, that time also, vilasa diva, as if through that romantic posture, romantic sport, she is walking like that. Maga iti uparuddhaya yadapisa sasuya mukta sakhi. Anasuya told her, don't go, you are not supposed to go because he is our guest and this is your duty. Kanuva has assigned duty to you to render hospitality to this king, to whosoever comes as a guest. So, Maga iti upparuddhaya yadapisa sasuya mukta. And yet, she reproached the Sakhi. Who are you to tell me that? Priyamvada also she reproaches, who are you to tell me whether I should go or I should stay? If I want, I'll go. If I want to stay, I'll stay. So this is like a very free conversation between the girls, between the friends, which is happening. So don't go, her friends are telling, and still, she reproves of that and all that, and he feels she doesn't want to go, not because her friend is telling her not to go, but because she wants to be in front of me, because she wants to see me under some pretext, and therefore she did not go. Okay, so Maga iti uparuddhayapi yadapi sa sasuya mukta sakhi. She reproached her sakhi and who are you and all that, but that was just, apparent thing, the pretext, under the pretext of watching me, being in my company here, and therefore she did not want to go. Sarvam tatkila matparayanamaho, whatever she did, her snigdha vikshana, then her gamana, vilasad, then her speaking to her friends, all that, sarvam tatkila matparayanam, that was all directed towards me. Matparayanam, that all referred to me, that is related to me, not to anything else. And then comes a beautiful generalization, Kami Swatam Pashyati. Oh, really, the lover sees his own self everywhere. That means whatever are his feelings, he feels the other also entertains the same feeling. Kami Swatam Pashyati. So, very beautiful verse here. I'll just read the commentary here. Very beautiful commentary by Raghava Bhatta, and next time we'll have a recap if required. Tadapi अन्यतोपि निर्लक्ष्यमेव अतएव नयने प्रेरयन्त्या तया यद्विलासादिव स्निग्धं वीक्षितं स्निग्धदृष्ट्या अवलोकितम् इति साभिलाषं व्याजावलोकनं कृतम् इति भावः. Okay, so her glance was directed towards me, number one. Nitambayoho gurutaya vilasadiva yaccha mandam yatam vilambo bhavatu iti bhavaha. So she is lingering behind with purpose. Okay. Vilambo bhavatu iti bhavaha. Nitambayoho iti dvivachanena madhya nimnata gauravadhikya janedo yauvano jrumbhanam dhvanitam. So she is in the prime of her youth, that is being suggested. Maga iti uparuddhaya taya sapi priyatara hridaya sakhi vilasadiva yadapi sasuyam sa irsham ukta tatra sthityartham iti bhavaha. Tatra sthityartham, she wanted to stay along. Api samuchayarthe, and then the word api comes here. Okay, Yadapisa. So that api is samuchaya, collecting all these things together. Tat sarvam, all that. Tat sarvam nama snigdha vikshanam mandagamanam irsha sersha vachanadi iti sarvam matparayanam. Sarvam matparayanam. Aho, aho, kami svatam pashyati. Aho iti ascharye. Kami svatam atmiyatam sarvatra swabhipraya rupatam pashyati ityarthaha. So everywhere he sees swabhiprayatva. Whatever is his desire, the same desire he wants to be there in her mind as well. Okay, and therefore kami svatam pashyati. And then after this, Vidushaka says, I hope the verse is clear to you all. Now this is a Deepaka Alankara because towards one object there are so many actions. Like one lamp, it lights so many other objects. One lamp is lit and it illumines so many other objects. Similarly, one subject and so many actions are described. It is called Deepaka Alankara. Okay, so this is Deepaka Alankara here, and this is the many actions on one person, and Arthantaranyasa in Kami Svatam Pashyati, and her dalliance and everything is described. So again we are reminded of Strinam Adyam Pranayavachanam Vibhramohi Priyeshu. Now Vidushaka says, Bho Vayasya Tathastitaha eva. He is standing in the same posture, okay? Anga Bhanga Vikalam Kritva, like crooked and all. Bho Vayasya Name Hastapadam Prasarati. Normally, whenever the king comes, the Brahmana is supposed to raise both his hands and do Ashirvachana, Jayatu Raja, Jayatu Maharaja, whatever. Raising the both hands, it is like an Ashirvachana. This is normally given, but now Vidushaka has an excuse, right? Name hastapadam prasarati. My hands and my feet are stiffened, so I can't raise my hands, okay? I can't stand erect to welcome you. Tad vangmatrena japayishyami. Therefore, only by words I will announce victory to you. Japayishyami. It has got nothing to do with japa. Okay? No japamala. Japayishyami is the causal and bhavishyat kala, future tense of Ji Jayati. Ji Jayati and Japayishyami or Jayayishyami, like Bhapayati and Bhayayati, for Bhi, there are two Nijanta forms. Here also there are two Nijanta forms. Nijanta is causal. So this is causal and then future tense. Ishyami. Okay? Gamishyami, Gamayishyami, like that. So Japayishyami, I will declare victory to you only Vang Matrena, not with raising my hands in Ashirvachana. Jayatu Bhavan. So standing with the help of a stick, I think I didn't read that this thing, that this one, iti dandakashtham avalambya sthitaha. He is standing with the support of his dandakashtha, the stick which he carries with him. So in that, like that he is standing angabhanga vikala kritva. So Jayatu Bhavan or Jayatu Maharaja, he just says it by words, not by action. Raja says, Kutaha atra gatropaghataha? How did you break down your limbs? You are standing like this. How did you break down your limbs? And then Vidushaka gives a very clever answer. We'll see it next time. Kutah khila swayam akshi akuli kritya ashrukaranam pritchasi. You are the cause of my gatropaghata. And you are asking me what happened. Better not ask. You should know what you have caused. This is because of you, oh my friend, that I have been rendered to this position. Okay. So, swayam Akshi, akuli kritya, you are piercing something in my eyes and asking me, why are these tears in your eyes? Oh, so this is what he says. We'll see it next time again. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.